Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Funtime Crafts 24/7. And today I wanted to, I had a request to see how I made some of the pieces for the wreath. The wreath that I made, this one here. And I wanted to show you how I got the chipboard circle, the backing for the wreath, and then show you how I put how I did the foliage and layered it out, how I laid it out and put some of the poinsettias and stuff together, and the little pine cones and stuff. So first thing we need to do is we need to get our scan and cut machine set up, and it's a little precarious because of these camera holders, they only go so many ways. This one in particular. So hopefully you can see this screen pretty decent. So basically we're gonna go home. It's gonna set itself. Cancel. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go to pattern. We want to go to shapes. And then all the way at the bottom, there are these two shapes here, and I did this one, and it makes the hole in the center. So basically all I did was grew it until it fit the mat, because a 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbook paper will fit on the cutting mat. And I did as big as I dared to go. I did 11.5. So that circle's not quite 12. But it's pretty darn close. So then what you want to do is you want to set that. Oh, not enough space on the cutting area. Let's see if it'll let us. How big it will let us go. There we go. And now, let's see. That should have centered it. So we hit OK. And then all you do is you select what you want to do and cut. And now it's, I gotta go into settings, my half cuts on, because I was doing vinyl the other day. So let me change that really quick. There we go, half cut off. Okay. And now we just have to, it's not lit up because we have to load the board. So let me grab my cutting mat and some chipboard. Okay, so here's my mat. I was gonna let you know too, this is one of the cutting mats I got on HSN, and I only needed to do like a 6-inch wide by 12-inch wide piece of vinyl. I needed to cut some lettering out of it. And, oh my goodness, this was not the appropriate mat. I should have used a low tack, because the backing to the vinyl stuck to this whole thing. It was awful, just awful. And I haven't taken it off yet, so I'm gonna hope for the best when I put the chipboard on. And, the chipboard I got is just, you can't see anything. A 12 by 12 sheet, and it's super thin. It's like the really uber thin chipboard. It maybe 3 millimeter. It's not thick at all. It's like cereal box weight. And so all I'm gonna do is line it up on my mat here, press it down. Maybe I'll go ahead and throw some washi tape on it. Just in case. And then see what happens. I got an extra piece of chipboard just in case it decides to be a little grouchy. Here, let me tape this up. You don't need to watch that. Okay, so there we have it all taped up. And now we're just gonna load it into the machine. here. Let's see, can you see that? Like so. So then I don't worry about the back or anything. I don't worry about the back, or, you know, because it goes through just fine. It kind of bends over a little bit and whatnot, but it's okay. So you just push it up to the roller, make sure it's, you know, in between the two notches there, and then you push the load button, which is this one here. And this takes the work out of it. It makes it so easy. Okay, so it loaded it, it read it, and now, let's see, push start. You could test it to see if it would work, but I don't think that's necessary. And let's hope for the best. So it says we have about 2 minutes. And I think it goes through and it cuts it twice. It'll do the first initial pass. Because it's thick, it has the auto cut, or the auto sensing on it. And so it'll do the whole thing once. And then it will test again, and then it will do it again. I used a thicker chipboard on this before, but it went through and it did an update. And the black chipboard was much thicker. It was probably 5 mil, and it would actually cut it. And when it did the update, it would no longer cut that chipboard. So something in their update, I don't know, did not allow for that. But that's okay. This stuff works just fine as well. And we're going to do this again and do a piece of cardstock for the back. And probably the front. I'll probably do 2. Easy peasy. There we go. I finished it. So let's see what we have. And then we unload it. Spits it out here. And then let's see how this came out. And I think we did good. Oh, look at that. Perfect. That worked well. So we didn't have to do it a second time. And then we get this fun circle. I'll figure out what to do with that. That's kind of cool. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing. But I'm not going to use this mat because it's, even the edges are uber sticky. You've got to use the low tack for the cardstock or it just rips it to shreds. So let me grab that. So then for the next part here, I'm just using this 65-pound cardstock by Darcy. I got it, or Darice. I got it on Amazon, and I think for the 20 sheets, it was about $10 for this pack. And so we're going to just cut one for each side, the front and the back. And I'm going to put it on the low tack one here. And I don't think I'm going to have to tape it down. It's a fairly new mat, which I prefer to just tape the stuff down and the mat to be old and used a ton. But the mats get worn, and so you have to kind of alter them a little bit. Once the edges get worn, they get worn up here, and so then they feed crooked and that sort of thing. But I'll show you the fix I have for it, because I figured out a fix. I cut to put a new edge. These have on the back, I don't think you can see it on here, but there's an edge right here, and if it doesn't have the proper depth, these darn things will not feed to save their lives. It'll go crooked, it makes a mess of everything, it's awful. But if you cut the top like 1/16 of an inch off, it still is enough that it feeds the mat and it reads it properly. And I'll show you how I do that, but not today. Anyways, so let's give this a roll and see if this will go, and we'll get off our bunny trail. No, it feels slick. Let me tape this down. So here we go. how I determined if I was going to tape it down or not was when I went to pick it up, this sheet was bending up off of the mat. And so then you know the odds of it staying in place aren't that great. So I went ahead and taped it down. So now we can just feed this to the machine. So here, hopefully I turn you the right way and you're not all upside down. Oh, here, let's move this back. And so you can see, let's see. See, we still have our image on the screen, our circle there. I'm using the same one. We're gonna cut and we're gonna load this so we keep it secured to the two edges and uptight to the two rollers. And then you push load, this button here. Oh, you can't see it. Shoot. I pushed that one to load. Okay, and now our start came up. So then we will push start because we're all set. So these circles we're making now, these wreath templates we're making now, are actually a hair bigger than the other one. So I must have went down quite a bit when I was testing it. But yeah, so this will be even nicer to hold the poinsettias on. Oh, look at that. You can already tell. Okay, so let's unload it. Go to the table. And there we are. See, you can see it, and it's already popping off. That's why I love the low tack. Man, if you were to put this on the other one, this thing would have been shredded if you tried to take it off. I mean, just awful. And so I'm going to stop it here and cut my other one for the front of the back and save up some time. So just a sec. Okay, so here's the second one. And the other thing I was going to say was when you're doing these, you want to make sure your leading edge on all 3 points in the front, on 3 points at least on the top of it where the arrow where you feed it in at, is taped down because that's where your problem area is if you do have issues with your material not sticking to the mat. It would be here. So let me put this in the machine, cut it out, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now that we have our 3 circles to make our wreath base, what I'm going to do is glue this white panel to the chipboard base and then color this one with the green metallic gilding paste and then glue them all together. Okay, so then all I do to adhere one to the other is just use some art glitter glue, go around the whole thing. Wish it would come out better. Okay, I guess we're not holding, we're not building a bridge, right? Not holding the world up here. Okay, so this will be our back piece. And then what I want to do first is I want to put the gilding polish on this. And you just take the sponge out, take the cap off, There's little pieces on there. And then you just dip the sponge in the gilding paste, tap it off, and I tap it off in the lid. And then you just put doesn't have to cover it perfectly, just enough to put some color on, so that way when you have a gap in between the flowers and stuff, it will have a nice little glimmer there. It will help disguise the white of the background piece. And then after we get this done, we'll want to let it dry for just a little bit. Because it'll be really wet and warp a little. So you want to let it relax as much as possible by drying. But super simple. Super easy. And I did the poinsettias in the same kind of sloppy, quick manner. Just slapped it on there and get it done. Now, if we were, gonna see this, you would want it all as a whole. You would definitely want it to be a little bit more even, but we're not, so we're not worried about that. So there you have it. And nice shimmer and shine. That's gonna be pretty fun. So then this will layer on top of this, like so, as soon as it dries. So when that's done, I'll be back. But actually, I'm gonna cut the poinsettias and all the pieces I need to layer on the top of this, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I got all the pieces cut, and this is now dry, so we can adhere it to our base. I wanted to let you know what I used and what I ended up with. So to get 20 4-layered poinsettias, I used 5 sheets of cardstock. I cut, so it's 5 whole sheets of cardstock that I cut in half. But I used 3 different colors. So I had 2 dark, 2 of the dark, 2 of the strawberry, and then 1 of the light red color. And then on the green foliage, you only needed 1.5 sheets of cardstock, but I ended up using 3 colors, so I just used half a sheet for each of the colors. So if you just want to use 1 color of green, you only need 1.5 sheets, and if you only want to use 1 color of red, you only need 5 whole sheets of cardstock for this. So what you end up with is 2 full sets of poinsettias can cut out of half a sheet of cardstock. So that 2 times, we'll cut out 2 times on a 4 1/4 by an 11-inch strip of cardstock. Then this here, you can actually cut out the group of green foliage, large, medium, small. You can cut this 4 times on a half strip of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11 strip of cardstock, which garners you 12 sets here. And if you do that 3 times, and then if you have 10 half sheets, 5 total sheets of cardstock, you end up with 20 poinsettias here. And so we ended up with a little bit of extra, but that's fine because I have another project as well. So these little guys here, the pine cones, you only needed a 6x6 piece of paper for each of the colors on this, because we only did 7 pine cones total. Oh, and I was going to tell you too, so after using the dyes for a bit, the cardstock on the poinsettias that I used was not that thick. It's the Stamps of Life and the Recollections. So the Stamps of Life was a little bit thicker, but doubled up because I cut them. I put 2 half sheets together, and then so I could cut 2 sets out at once, and you could cut them out layered on the reds, but on the green foliage, the spearmint, the dark green, is so heavy that after I'd been cutting for a while, it did not want to cut through 2 layers. I could only get the leaves on this one just to cut through the single layer because it's so thick. So I did each of these spearmint ones, or no, the one strip I did by itself, but I could layer up the Recollections and the Avocado Stamps of Life green. I could layer these together and it would cut them out together. See, I tried, and that's when I had it doubled up with because this is thinner than the artichoke. I think it's artichoke. It's thinner than this one. And so I thought, oh, maybe I could get them to cut 2 out at a time. It stuck. But the nice thing is we can still utilize this piece. We'll just hide it when we put it on our wreath. And you won't even be able to tell. So anyways, 1.5 sheets, 5 sheets here, and a 6x6 of this. And this is ginger snap and the dark chocolate brown. I forget what it's called. Yeah, so that's what I used to make these. And now let's get this in here. I think we're gonna have to go up. Let's get this part in here. So I am gonna glue this down, but it's like super warped from the fun gilding polish. So I have this giant behemoth of a stamping block that I can use to hold it down so it dries flat. And this is a Prima stamping block, and I just got it on Amazon. It's really thick and heavy. I have quite a few of these in varying sizes, and I don't use them for stamping. I literally use them as a holder to like hold things down. It's so funny. I don't use them for what they're for, but that's what we're going to do today. So let me get some glue on this, and like we did the back piece, I'm just going to put some glue on this and put it down, and then put my block to hold it on top, and that way it lays flat. So one sec. Okay, so now that that is drying flat, what we're going to do now is put the gilding polish on the leaves. And I found it worked best if you left the leaves flat before you curl them, that you put the gilding polish on. It was easier when all the little pieces were just flat. So let's do that. I'll show you how I did that. And then, so after I get the gilding polish on all of them, I'm not going to do them all on camera, but after I get the gilding polish on all of them, then I'll go and I'll curl them. So I literally just, you just get a little bit on your sponge there, and it's messy, but it washes off, so that's no problem. Just literally like that. And the first one started out a little bit dark, which is fine. You'll get varying colors, which gives it interest and just makes it super fun. So on these thinner ones, like this is the thick spearmint cardstock, so it's really heavyweight. You don't have to hold the branches, but on these thinner ones, you kind of want to hold, like put your finger under the little branches, and you just kind of run it over. And I like the varying shades that you get by not always dipping your sponge into the polish. It's nice contrast. It'll just make it super interesting when it's all done. So, and that is literally all I do. And I just keep going, and then when it starts to get so light that you can't really see it on there, then I get a little more, and then you start all over. You get dark, medium, light, and you just keep going till you get them all done. And it goes really quick. And then by the time you get to the end of all of the foliage, these are dry, and you can start curling them. So then, here, let me show you how I did the poinsettias. Because then I'll put them all together off camera. Oh wait, let's put these together really fast. So these are really simple. The pine cones, I mean, it's just because I cut them with the sticker adhesive on the back. They're already sticky, and then all the pieces fall out. So just like anything else that's a 2-layered, you know, you just peel the backing off and stick it down. So this is your pine cone. And then so we'll add dimension to the pine cones as well. And let me show you that, because I'm going to do the rest of these off camera. So then now to make this look more, rather than one-dimensional, we want to add, you just take your curling tool and you run it around the 2 edges, and you kind of try to put it at the top to the point and on an angle and curl out. And it makes it like a little cone. And so, like, see it sitting on the table there? It looks like a little pine cone, and it's all nice and rounded. So that's how we got that. And here, I'll do one more. And then I'll do the rest of those off camera. But we'll do the poinsettias. Here. I'm kind of getting green on them because it's on my fingers. Okay, so there we go. And they're not perfect. See, I didn't line that up very perfectly, but you don't even notice it. All together, it's just super fun. So at an angle, curl, at an angle, curl. You could do it multiple times. And so then you have a nice little, there's another one, little cone shape there. And so when you stuff them in the little poinsettias, they're like little rounded pine cones there. So, okay, so those are there. And then on these, you want to actually get just the different colors of the cardstock. So let's see, what do we got here? Let's use this. So there's a, oh no, these are too big. Let's see, we need a medium, okay? And we'll use a different color. So we'll use that. And let's see, we want like a different, here, let's use this light red that's on the bottom here. Our 4 different colors there, and one more little bitty one for the top. So there we go. So we have these. But what you want to do first is you actually, instead of putting the gilding polish on first, you want to curl these and then glue them all together. You have to give all your poinsettias little crab legs. When they're sitting on the table, they look like little crabs. They're so cute. See? Okay, and then I'm gonna have to get my We Are Memory Keepers one out too, because that one's actually a really nice curling tool. There we go. Like so. And then but if you just have the one, you could even, I think you could even just do this around, like if you didn't have a curling tool, I think you could just use scissors and do like the old school method where, yeah, you can just like ribbon, you wrap it around and lightly hold and pull. And it gives a little bit of, a little, you know, a little height there, a little dimension. It'd be really hard with the small one, so I think you'd end up cutting them. And it is a lot easier with the curling tool. But you can. If all you have is scissors, you could totally do it. And it doesn't look like it's doing anything, but it actually is curling them. See? And if you want more, you just keep doing it. You just keep kind of gently going around. Ta-da! Okay, now you just put a dot of glue in the center, like literally a dot. And stack them all up. And then I offset them, intermix all the points, offset the points from one to another. And then the art glitter glue dries so fast that you don't hardly have to wait any time at all, and they're dry. So let's do one more so I can show you the two different ways. So here we got a dark red. I hope this is in frame. I haven't even been watching. There. Let's see, medium. That's a different color. Goodness, you get in crafting mode and you don't even watch the screen to see what you're doing. You just kind of hope for the best, I guess. Let's see. Large, medium, small. Wait, this is 2. To make sure you have... Is that... Nope, these colors. I already have them. Oh, we could still use the dark. We'll just use the dark. It doesn't have to be all totally... Because all the other ones were hodgepodge. They were 2 colors, 3 colors. It didn't matter as long as they were alternated. Okay, a little more. Okay, so there's that, and we'll use the light one for the middle. Okay. There. See, it's pretty fast. This goes really quick. There we go. A little glue. Offset the little guys. A little more glue. A little more glue. Boom, done. Ta-da! There it is. Dun dun dun. Oh, it's magic. Alright, there we go. Now, we can go ahead and, so then what we do is, we take our gilding. Are you still in frame? Where are we at here? Can you see anything? Okay, so we have our, our 2 colors of red. This is the Glitter Kiss in Fire Red, but first we're going to use the metallic gilding polish in Rich Red. So pop the cap off, take the lid off, dip And it's okay if the sponge gets a little bit, feels a little bit crunchy, because it softens up after you start using it. It's because it got air, you know, it's not sealed tight in the top. So it gets a little bit crunchy, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. So then what I do is, this gets messy too. You just hold it in the center, and then you just put your finger under the leaves, the big leaves there, and then you just kind of go over the edge of, and you're just kind of turning it in your hand. You're just kind of lightly putting a little bit of a layer, just kind of lightly brushing it on. And then I put my sponge in the center, lightly tap in the center, and then there you have that. And so while we're doing the other one, we're going to let this dry. And we're, because half of them got the gilding polish and the glitter kiss. The other half only got the glitter kiss. So we're going to let this dry and do this one in glitter kiss so we can go back to that one. So we don't want it to dry out, so let's put the cap on. So then same thing. And this gets crunchy too. This, I think, is actually a lot like the, what is it called? Gina K's Glitz Glitter Gel. I think it's almost identical to this. I like it because it's actually creamier. This one's creamier, and it has the applicator. You don't have to get a sponge or a paintbrush. This one's a little chunkier, a little bit thicker of consistency, and you don't have the convenient sponge. Although this color is absolutely gorgeous. It is. Wait, we should have done a frost, like a frosted ones in this. That would be so cute. The white is just gorgeous on stuff. But anyhow, we're using this, so let's do it. Where's my lid? Tap it off. Oh, I probably already did that. Okay, so same thing. Thumb in the middle, finger under the leaves, and just lightly brush. And then I did this the same as the leaves, to where I didn't dip it all the time. You kind of get a couple of them with the heavy layer at first, and then, you know, you just keep working with it until you use quite a bit. So then kind of brush it down in the center. Couple of them with a heavy, couple with a light, and there you have it. Oh, that's a little heavier than I wanted. Let me brush some of that off. But, okay. Whoa. And then this actually dries pretty quick as well. And so then the other thing you want to do right now. Oh, here, let's do this one since we have it open. The other thing you want to do right now is put the glitter glue in the center, your gold glitter glue drop, because what is going to happen with these after they've dried, they actually dry a hair a little bit flatter. So you'll want to go back and you'll want to curl the outside leaves a little bit to give them a bit more dimension, because they actually, I think the moisture from the polish and the glitter kiss, I think the moisture flattens them a little bit. Not all of them, just the ones where it starts out with the heavy layer. It does that too. So let's put the glitter drops in there. And then that way too, you can let them dry overnight and then work on the rest of the project. I did that wreath in stages. The first one that I showed you guys, I did it in stages. So, like I cut everything out one night. Then I curled and glued them all together one night. Glitter polished one night. Recurled them. So it was over the course of, you know, a little bit of time. So now that these are finished, you could, if you wanted to, come back and curl all of these. The glitter drops won't have dried. You'll have to wait for quite a while to do that. But these are dry now, so we can actually curl these. And this is all I did. And the ends, I kind of tried to come from the end a little. So then you just run it down the spine and kind of pull out a little. I'm going to be a little gentle on some of it. It wants to grip a little bit, but you end up with, you know, quite a nice dimension there. And so then, you know, it looks more realistic a little bit. It's not so one-dimensional, I guess. So there we go. Run it up the spine. Curl the end a little. Run it up the spine. Curl them a little. The spine. Curl it a little. Boom. There you go. See, it goes really fast. These are a little bit, that thicker cardstock, boy, you get a lot more dimension and curl on them. But there you go, you still have it with that. Look how nice that is. Okay, so we got our pine cones, we got our foliage, we got our poinsettias. So and we got our base drawing. So I'm gonna finish up all of these and then come back. And once I get that done, I will start assembling this. Today, tomorrow, I'm not sure. Anyways, we'll get working on it. Okay. Hey guys, I wanted to show you what I did alternately with the poinsettias and the pine cones. If you didn't want to do the whole wreath and make, you know, the cardboard backing and do 20 of them and all that stuff, you could just make a few of them, of the poinsettias and a few of the pine cones, and you could just clip them onto your own home decor wreath. I was thinking about doing this for I have two in the entry hall here, and I don't like to store this stuff at Christmas time, so I thought, well, maybe if I just alter the ones that are already there, and then I don't have to take them down, but it makes them festive. And I think I'll probably add tie some ribbon around it. Not tie it, but like loop it around so that way I can take it off then when the holidays are over. But I just wanted to show you that as an alternative. And then I'll take this into the craft room and show you how I did that. Okay, so this is still the same video for the other wreath. But these are the exact same flowers and the pine cones that I did. I'm actually using them before I put them together in the other wreath on here. And what I did was, here, let me take it off here. I just put clothespins on the back. These mini clothespins on the back onto the pine cones too. These are like a small clothespin, and then the ones on these are mini. They are super tiny. But I would suggest, if you did this, hot gluing them on the back. I just put a sticky dot just so they would temporarily be stuck on the back of them to put them onto the wreath. But yeah, I would, if for longevity and through a long period, you would want to probably hot glue them or art glitter glue them or something that they would adhere much nicer than a glue dot. But anyhow, just another thought on how to alter your home decor that you already have. If you're like me and you don't want to store it, you could do that and it would make it look really festive. It's super fun. But anyways, just a quick little thing. Okay, let me get back to the other one. Okay, I'm back and I got all the pieces done. Foliage, the rest of the poinsettias, the pine cones. And so now we're ready to put this together. So we have to put a hole in the top. And I use this, I think it's a We Are Memory Keepers punch. And I used the largest hole. It's a 5/16 hole. And I just pick a point on the backer and go about let's see, this says 3/4 of an inch down, and pop a hole in it. And then that way the big ribbon that I put through there will work really nice. I like this hole punch. It works really nice. I got it off, I think, HSN. And it works nice. The only thing is you can't put as big a material through the slot as, whoops, hold on, this one here, this tool here, this one has a much larger gap there, so you can put pretty thick material through the space there. So, but it does punch out. I mean, I've put plastic sheeting in there, and it punches it out really nice. So it is really good for that if it's a thinner, like Mylar and stuff like that, or the melamine sheets to make templates, stencils with. I think that's what this stuff's called. But and those are pretty thick material. So, but anyways, you put the hole in it. And then I just, because we have two different styles, the one with the glitter and the gilding polish, and then one's without. So all I do is alternate them around and just literally pop them on and fill in the gaps. Just random. Wherever they will go on. The last one I had to strategically place them on because I had some rips and I didn't want, like around the edges and stuff, I didn't want that to show. I wanted to make sure it was covered, so I did strategically place a few on those, but on this one, it's all straightforward. You're not trying to hide anything because it's all new and fresh. So I probably should have started at the hole there. To make sure I could fit enough around. These are actually looking like they're all the same on this side. Better put some glittery ones in here. Should like that. Let's see. Is there more? And then just trying to fit them in here. And then just randomly, not really any rhyme or reason on the pattern, other than if you see a cluster of dark ones, you know, probably want to separate that out. Make sure you don't have too many dark ones with the light ones and whatnot. And I have 20 poinsettias here. But I don't think we're going to need them all. So, let's see. I think because this wreath is actually a touch, just a hair bigger than the other one, I think I can squeeze on one more to really maximize it and make it full. So there we go. So I think this is pretty decent. And you'll notice I don't have the glitter drops in because I just finished all of the poinsettias and I didn't want to have to wait overnight again to get the video done. So I'm going to go back in after and add all the glitter drops and then basically hope for the best on the curling. Hopefully that they don't flatten out too much. So there's that. So I think this looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. And pretty much all I do is, since I like it, put a dollop of glue and pop it on the board. I just go around ooh. Oh, I think I was still holding the the trigger on the glue. Oh yeah. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so let's we'll squeeze some in up there. Oh, it's nice and hot. Oh, I sure did. That's okay. Okay. We'll stuff leaves or a pinecone or something there. It doesn't all have to be filled in because we have all the foliage there. So it's nice to have the gaps. Okay, so that's pretty much how I did the poinsettia. So I'll finish gluing the rest of these around and then be right back. Okay, so now that I got that done, I noticed when I was finished that I actually preferred the orientation this way than I did this way. This was my original hole, and I got it a little bit off balance in this direction, so I just turned it a little to where it looks more circular to me here. And so I punched another hole there, and so we're just going to cover this up with greenery and whatnot. But there you have it for, can you even see that? There you have it for this part. Now, okay, so now what we want to do is we want to start placing our greenery. And then I do the same thing, just randomly start putting them on. There is literally no rhyme or reason to any of this. Just whatever looks good. I do try to spread out like all the big ones in the varying colors. Pop some up on the outside. And that see, we want let's actually go here. And then starts out a little bit like, I don't know. But then by the time you end up finishing up, it ends up actually being super cute. Oops. So then try to fill in all the little gaps. Try to alternate the colors as well, to give more variety and stuff. And let's see, we should probably have a little bit of foliage coming down into the middle, like so. Like that. Let's see, where's my hole? Oh, right there. Let's see, well, if there's a hole there, we probably don't want this one there. So let's go ahead and, can we pop it on the outside anywhere? Oh, it's just right there. Okay. Okay, and so then, okay, and I think that actually, well, let's try to put the pine cones in. Oh, wow. I have a few more over here. There's a little bit of greenery here. We don't necessarily have to use them all. I did want some on the outside though, so this actually works out pretty nice. There. Yeah, that works out pretty decent there. So then let's add some there. Some up here. Let's see, where's our hole? Right there. There's our hole. Trying to stay a little circular. Now let's put a smaller one there. Different color. There we go. I think we need these three on this side. It's looking a little off balanced. Oh, whoops. Maybe not upside down. Maybe a bigger one there. Yeah, we'll put this one up there. Okay. So there we have it. Oh, see, that looks so much better. Oh, I'm glad we found that extra pile. Nice. And then we'll pop that one in there. So it's still round. Let's see. What do we think? Is it still I think it's still looking round. We do want it to be a wreath. Okay, so then let's pop some pine. Okay, that's our hole. I have to make sure where our hole is, because that's going to be the, oh, no, 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 no. There. Okay, so then let's, you just kind of see how it just fills in the gaps. You don't really have to be too, probably up here. Put that up by where the bow's gonna go. Yeah, you don't have to be too fussy with it. Maybe this under there. Actually, what if we... Oh, there we go. What if we actually do that instead? There. Hey, what about that? Put this up there. Hey. Okay. I think we got it. Let's see. Yeah. So then, oh, I forgot the other stuff. Oh, darn it. You know what? I forgot the berries. I need to do the berries, and I need some loops of ribbon. Let me see what I'm going to do for the ribbon. Let me glue this down now. Now that we have this, let me glue this down, and then I'll come back with the berries that actually go around the outside, and the little pieces of ribbon that then will fill in all the rest of the little stuff, and the hanger. I'll be right back. Okay, so here it is all glued down, and I glued down all the foliage, all the pine cones, and everything. I went ahead and I cut out 12 of these little berries, little berry branches, and I stuck, I just placed them around the edge, and then I took 2 of them, so 10 of them around the edge, and then 2 of them I cut in half, and I put next to a couple of the pine cones. And then I went ahead and put the glitter drops in the middle of the poinsettias. I put the hanger on, the little yarn hanger on, or not yarn, ribbon hanger on that I had, but I'm all out of the other ribbon that I used to go in between, so I was trying to figure out what to use. I'm not really sure, because the other thing I noticed was instead of using the lighter brown with the ginger snap, I used the chocolate brown, which made it, obviously that's a much darker. Here. This is the other one. It's a much darker brown for the pine cones, and a lighter color for the layering piece than these two. So, which this is chocolate brown and that's ginger snap. So these two are not. They're a totally different color. I'll have to see what I did use for those. They are Stampin' Up though, or not Stampin' Up, Stamps of Life cardstock. So I'll have to figure out what those are. Anyways, so, and I'm out of this ribbon here with the trees. So now I gotta figure out what to use instead. So what I have is, I do have this. I like the green, the red, and the burlap. But this is really wide. So what I did was I took a strip of it and I cut it in half. I folded it in half, and then I cut it right down the center. And then I cut little strips of it, and I was going to make loops. But with that dark brown, I'm not sure how this is going to look. The other thing I tried was like the what is it, buffalo? So it's like the darker, it's the black and the red. And I thought, well, I could use that size of loop. Or I had this other one. I tried, this has like a little reindeer and tree scene on it. And so I thought maybe that might be better. I don't know, that other one just went so well. Or this, let me glue this together really quick. And so we can see what a loop of this looks like. So then there's that. I could put it up here. That'd be pretty. I don't know. I'm not sure what actually looks the best. I even have this kind. It's like a little burlappy with white, but I didn't think the white went. I got a tiny buffalo check with white snowflakes again. I thought, well, could we just stick bows on it? I think these are too small. And I don't know if these go with it. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with that. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And let me put these together. So I'm going to do about 7 or 8 of them. I have 7 of them here. And we can go ahead and just put these together. And do that instead. Let's see what that looks like. Boy, I thought I did the exact colors. That's so funny I didn't. I was obviously not paying attention and in a hurry. Here, you don't need to wait for this. Let me do this off camera. Okay, there it is. It's all finished. I put these, I put 7 of these little loops here. Or no, oh no, just 6 of them. 1, 2, 4, 6. So there. And I think that came out pretty good. Yeah, I think it came out really nice. So there we have the finished product. And you can see all like the shine and the shimmer and the foliage, and I think it looks pretty good. And then let me actually go hang it on the wall, and then I'll show you what it looks like. There you go, there it is hanging on the wall. I think it looks so pretty. It actually came out pretty good. Even though I used different colors and things, it still came out actually pretty cool. Yeah, I think just varying all the colors makes it to where it's not, you don't have to be too particular about it, and it just looks nice. And honestly, the thing is, it's fun and it's festive and it makes you smile. So there we go. Thanks so much. Thanks for sticking around. And yeah, let me know what you think. If I should have used the buffalo check or the other ribbon with the deer on it or something, or if it needs something. I always like to improve things. So, and you guys always have great ideas. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Okay, bye-bye.